Analysts are sounding the alarms. The charts have just shattered a months-long barrier, and now the bulls are charging toward a bold new frontier. What's brewing in the Shiba Inu world? A decisive break from the descending channel that's held it back, with eyes locked on 3,300 units. This could ignite the next rally. Let's dive in and unpack the momentum. As of November 4th, 2025, Shiba Inu is trading at 906 units, reflecting a slight dip of around 5.78% over the past 24 hours amid broader market jitters. The 24-hour trading volume stands at $258 million, marking a notable uptick of 23.4% from the previous day, which signals renewed interest from traders. The overall market capitalization hovers at $5.34 billion, positioning Shiba Inu as a resilient player in the meme coin sector despite recent volatility. Sentiment indicators show a mixed but tilting bullish vibe, with social mentions surging 12% in the last day and a sentiment score climbing to 68 out of 100. Community trackers highlight growing on-chain activity, with active addresses up by 8% week over week, suggesting that holders are positioning for upside rather than panic selling. This snapshot paints a picture of a coin at a pivotal crossroads, where technical liberation meets cautious optimism from the crowd. The core event shaking the Shiba Inu ecosystem today is the long-awaited breakout from a multi-month descending channel that has constrained price action since mid-2025. Shiba Inu decisively closed above the upper boundary of this channel on November 3rd, 2025, with a candlestick formation that confirmed the breach during late Asian trading hours. This pattern, which began forming in July after a failed push toward 1,500 units, had been acting as a bearish lid, repeatedly rejecting upward probes and fueling dips to as low as 850 units in October. The breakout volume spiked to over $300 million in a single hour, dwarfing the daily average and indicating strong conviction from institutional players. This move aligns with a broader altcoin recovery, but for Shiba Inu, it's a narrative-shifting moment, transforming from a sidelined meme into a momentum darling once more. Whale trackers noted 3 wallets holding over 1 billion tokens, each adding 500 million Shiba Inu to their stacks right before the break, amplifying the signal that big money is betting on continuation higher. Backing this breakout with hard numbers, technical charts reveal that Shiba Inu surged past the 0.000000920 resistance level, equivalent to 920 units, with a 4% intraday gain before consolidating. On-chain metrics show transaction counts jumping 15% to 1.2 million in the last 24 hours, while gas fees on Shibarium dropped 20% post-upgrade, easing entry for retail traders. Reports an additional 45 million tokens sent to dead wallets yesterday, tightening supply by 0.000007% and supporting upward pressure. Technical analysis corroborates this, citing a relative strength index, RSI, rebound from oversold territory at 28 to neutral 52, and a moving average convergence divergence, MECD histogram flipping positive for the first time in 6 weeks. Google Trends data spiked 25% in search volume for Shiba Inu buy, reflecting organic hype. These layered evidences, from volume surges to sentiment shifts, solidify the breakout as more than a fleeting wick, but a foundational pivot. Diving deeper into the analysis, experts are unanimous that this descending channel break unlocks a textbook bullish continuation pattern. The measured move from the channel's depth projects an initial target of 1,200 units, with momentum potentially carrying to 1,500 if volume sustains above $250 million daily. Bearish counterpoints exist, warning of a retest of the broken channel at 850 units as support, but even concedes that failure there could accelerate downside only if Bitcoin dips below $90,000, a low probability scenario per current halving cycle trends. Sentiment analysts emphasize the role of Shibarium's recent security patch, which has boosted Layer 2 transaction efficiency by 30%, making Shiba Inu more appealing for DeFi plays. Broader market context ties this to Ethereum's Denkin upgrade ripple effects, where lower fees have funneled $2 billion into alt L2s like Shibarium. In essence, the layer of professional dissection reveals a coin not just breaking free, but aligning with macro tailwinds for sustained ascent. The Shiba Inu community has erupted in response, with developer Kusama tweeting a cryptic, "The pack breaks the cage, run free," garnering 150,000 likes in hours and sparking meme storms across Reddit's r/ShiBarmy. Influencers like Eric Voorhees of Shapeshift echoed the optimism in a podcast, calling it a reminder that memes evolve into utilities, while Vitalik Buterin subtly nodded via a GitHub commit referencing Shib-like scalability in Ethereum docs. On the flip side, immediately following the breakout, Shiba Inu's price action reflected classic post-liberation behavior, a 3.2% intraday spike to 935 units, followed by a healthy pullback to 906 as profit takers entered. Trading behavior shifted markedly, with spot volumes rising 22% to $45 million, while futures saw leverage positions flip 60% long. Exchange inflows dropped 12%, signaling reduced selling pressure, with 1.2 billion tokens moving to cold storage. This impacted correlated assets too. Dogecoin gained 2.1% in sympathy, and PP saw 4% volume swell. Retail adoption metrics indicate 15,000 new wallet interactions tied to Shib swaps, underscoring grassroots momentum. Overall, the market's response underscores resilience, not a euphoric blow-off, but a measured advance that has stabilized volatility at 4.2%, down from 7% pre-break, fostering confidence for deeper liquidity inflows. Looking ahead to the next week through 1 month, the short-term forecast for Shiba Inu leans bullish with a target range of 1,000 to 1,200 units. A 15.21% rebound could materialize by November 30th, driven by sustained MACD bullishness and RSI holding above 50. Analysts note potential resistance at the 50-day EMA around 1,050 units, but with trading volume projected at $280 million daily, breaching it seems feasible if Ethereum holds $3,500. Sentiment trackers suggest a 65% probability of green candles dominating, tempered by FOMC minutes on November 7th, that could introduce volatility. On-chain data anticipates active addresses climbing to 1.5 million, fueling organic pumps. Risks include a Bitcoin correction below $92,000, potentially capping gains at 950 units, but community-driven burns averaging 50 million tokens weekly provide a supply buffer. In summary, expect measured gains of 10 to 15%, setting the stage for holiday season hype without overextension. Extending the lens to 1 to 3 months, spanning December 2025 through February 2026, the midterm outlook positions Shiba Inu for a climb toward 1,500 to 2,000 units, contingent on ecosystem catalysts. Bullish scenarios see 30 to 50% appreciation if Shibarium TVL doubles to $500 million post-security rollout. Technicals support this, with the channel's projected extension eyeing the 200-day simple moving average at 1,800 units by January, backed by rising on-balance volume indicators. Sentiment could amplify via influencer endorsements, with 75% of polled traders betting on upside amid altcoin season whispers. Headwinds like regulatory scrutiny on meme coins might induce 10% drawdowns, but burn mechanisms projected to eliminate 200 billion tokens quarterly act as a floor. Macro alignment with Fed rate cuts in December adds tailwind, potentially injecting $1 billion into risk assets. This horizon blends technical poise with utility maturation for a robust 40% average gain trajectory. Over the longer arc of 3 months to 3 years, from March 2026 through 2028, the long-term projection envisions Shiba Inu scaling to 2,500 units by mid-2026 and peaking at 3,300 to 5,000 units by 2028, per aggregated models. Extended forecasts anticipate a 2027 average of 2,700 units, accelerating to 4,000 in 2028 amid full Shibarium adoption and metaverse launches. Key drivers include Layer 2 scaling, reducing fees to under $0.01 per transaction, drawing 10 million daily users, and partnerships with Web3 giants like Roblox for Shib integrated gaming. Bear cases cap at 1,800 units if global recession hits, but historical post-halving cycles from 2024 suggest 300% multiples for alts like Shib. On-chain evolution, with staking yields hitting 5% via bone rewards, could lock 20% of supply. This view frames Shiba Inu not as a flash in the pan, but a maturing asset class contender, with 3,300 units as the bullseye in a multi-year bull market narrative. As the sun sets on this breakout dawn, picture the Shiba Inu pack thundering across uncharted plains, the descending shadows fading in the rear view. From 906 units today, the horizon gleams with 3,300's promise, a tale of resilience etched in blockchain fire. Will the bulls claim their prize? The charts whisper yes, the community roars in unison. Stay tuned, holders, the rally's just beginning. Fade to the moon, Shiba Inu style. The day is over now. Remember to give it a big thumbs up. To see our most recent material, share it and subscribe to the channel.